I'm Tony Brown. In a moment, slavery's biggest secret. My guest on this program is a veteran journalist who has written a book on slavery in the United States. It contends that the, quote, shameful, unquote, part of our history, called slavery, has been carefully rewritten since the Civil War to hide the North's true role as the profit center of a brutal and inhumane institution. New York City, for example, considered seceding with the southern states. The North's wealth, including that inherited by some modern financial and educational icons, was built on the backs of slaves. There is so much to cover that I split the presentation up into two parts. Part one will give ivory a new meaning and introduce you to Venture Smith, among many other little-known facts. Speaking of which, how much do you know about American history? For example, which colony, Virginia in the South or Massachusetts in the North, was the first to give legal recognition to the institution of slavery? And was Mississippi or Rhode Island the leader in the slave trade enterprise? My guest on this edition is Anne Farrow. Anne Farrow is a veteran journalist for the Hartford Courant and co-author of Complicity, How the North Promoted, Prolonged, and Profited from Slavery. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Tony.
Congratulations on your new and important book.
Thank you so much.
Let me ask you that question. How did the North profit from slavery?
Completely and in every way. I grew up in New England believing that slavery in the North was, if it existed at all, was very long ago, not economically significant, and very limited. What my co-authors and I discovered in the course of doing our research is that there were tens of thousands of captive people in the North, and that they were worked brutally and for a very long time, and that the great foundation of our wealth grew from industries and businesses and farms fueled and dependent upon enslaved people.
Now, when we use the term New England, does that have any particular significance with regard to the subject matter of your book?
Well, very much so. Of the in the international slave trade, which existed for about 400 years, the English were the great leaders. Of the 27,000 or so documented slaving voyages, and I don't think that's the whole number, I think there's more to learn, England was at the helm of about 10,000 of those. As an English colony, we fell quite naturally and took to it with some enthusiasm, the slave trade ourselves. New England men were on the coast of Africa beginning in, we are quite certain, about 1660, and they may have been there even before that. They were capturing people and taking them to the Caribbean, where they were literally worked to death on sugar plantations. They were also brought back to New England, and in greater numbers, they were brought to the American southern colonies. I think that was one of the first aha moments for us, seeing that many, many of the enslaved people in the South were taken there on ships from the North.